the next structure we have to look into is your cone. So how does a cone look like? This is a cone. It has a flat base and a pointy head. Right? I'm sure all of you know about the cone. So what are the variables and how to draw in your exams? So a cone has something like this. So this is your cone. It has a base of radius r and a height h, and there's one more thing that we need to know, and you guys have to remember this. That is something called as slant height. So that's your slant height. Sorry, it's represented by L. This of L unit, this of R unit, and that's of H unit. So this is how you represent a cone. So please see to that you guys make a mental note that there is something called as a slant height. Okay. So next thing that we need to learn is about curved surface area. So please have a look at this, then we can discuss further. So we are looking at a cone. I'm trying to show that the base is flat. Not a very good job, but yeah. So you can see that the base is flat. The next thing is that we need to make an observation about the slant height. So many people get confused about height and slant height. Height of a cone is different and slant height of a cone is different. So that is your slant height. You can see two at the two ends now. Those are your slant height. Now I'm marking a slant height. So anywhere across the sheet, if you mark from the bottom to the tip, that gives you guys the slant height. That is generally denoted by letter L. Now we need to find the area, right? For that we need to consider the base radius as well and the circumference. So what I'm marking is the base circumference. So what will be the circumference length? Since it's a circle of radius r, it will be 2 pi r. Okay, now let's have a look at it by opening it up. How does this look like? What do you think it looks like? Any idea? It looks like part of a circle, is it not? So if I happen to extend this, this looks like a part of a circle. This is known as sector. So area of a sector is something that you might have studied by now. If not, you'll be studying in the future. So how do you find the area of this shape, the curved surface area of this cone? How will we find it? First thing that we need to notice, the circle that we are talking about is of radius L, not R. Can you see this? This is of radius L. R is to do with the base of the cone. So first thing is that. So for this circle, I would like you guys to figure out the circumference and the area of this particular circle with radius L. So this would be what? Yes, 2 pi L, and this would be pi L square. Now we'll make use of something called as using proportionality concept. What is this proportionality? Proportionality is to do with, if I had to buy one item which cost 10 rupees, buying two items would be costing me 20 rupees. 5 items would be costing, yes, 50 rupees. So in the same way, if I happen to consider the circumference of length 2 pi L, the area that length covers is equal to pi L square. Does that make sense? If I happen to walk around this circle, one entire round along the circumference, I would be covering an area of pi L square. Is it not? If I start over here, say over here, and go around and come to this point, the area that covers is pi L square. But we don't want the entire length, is it not? We want a length which is equal to 2 pi r. You guys understood how we got 2 pi r, right? From the video it was very clear. So the base circumference, the basis circle's circumference is 2 pi r, right? Over here, this is of radius r, so this entire length is 2 pi r, and when you open it up, that part would be this, from here till there. So what is the area? That's what we have to figure out. We'll take it as x. Now we will cross multiply things. So x into 2 pi l will be equal to 2 pi r into pi l square. Since we want x, we'll divide with 2 pi l both the sides. So we are left out with x being equal to 2 pi gets cancelled, l and l square things get cancelled, and we are left out with r, pi and l. Pi r l. So this is how you derive the formula. So please see to that you understand this way, and then remember, not the other way around, trying to by heart and then trying to understand. Okay, now we have to look at the total surface area. Since this structure has the curved surface area and a flat region, those two will add up to the total surface area. So we have the curved surface area plus the base area of the base actually would give us the total surface area. So we know that this is pi r l, and the base is a circle of radius r, is it not? This is pi r square, and that would be your total surface area. Very simple, is it not? If you know about the curved surface area, the total surface area is just a small derivation. Now the volume. To understand the volume, I am relating it to the cylinder, because volume of cylinder is quite simple. By relating this to, we'll be able to find remember the volume of a cone. I didn't get an actual cone, and I didn't get an actual cylinder, but in place of that I have two structures which have the same radius and the same height. I'll show that. So we have these two structures. Okay, so this is a cylinder. And this is your cone. So we have to make a note that they have the same, almost the same radius and the height. Okay, something like this. Right, here I have a cone and a cylinder. Their base is of same area, that is their radius is same. Both the circles of same radius, so they are congruent, and their height is also same. Can you see that? Their height is same. Let me show from different perspective. Can you see this? Their height is same and the radius is same. Agree? Now if I happen to have this scenario, right, if I happen to have this structure, and say what I'm trying to do over here is I'm trying to fill this cylinder, the structure A, by filling the structure B. How many times do we have to fill B and then fill A? I'll show this and then you will understand. That would be better, right? So make your count and watch this video. So here I have a cylinder and the cone, a replica, not exactly replica but close to. So this is the first filling. Remember, all the structures have their inner radius and thickness and all of that, inner length and inner radius. So what you look from outside is not the same from inside. So I'm using turmeric water to show things properly. So this is the second filling, and please make a note that when I fill the so-called cone, I'm not filling the entire neck, I'm filling a bit of the neck. I'll explain that when I'm when we are on the board. So this is our third filling, and I'll fill it to the end, to the brim, to the top. Right? So when we have a look at it, so we are able to fill it almost 3 times. Almost is because of the structure is not exactly cylindrical. If it was cylindrical, we would have been able to fill this entire thing over here. So basically, I had to fill from the cone, if I had to fill the cylinder, I had to fill 3 times. Agree? We saw that. I mean, I'm not making it up. We saw that. Okay, so again I'll repeat, I didn't fill this entire structure. I filled it to this height because the neck was in this shape. You know, this will compensate this entire imaginary cone structure. And the missing part over here, right, and over here at the bottom. Okay, can you see that? It's not exactly, see, can you see this? This is not exactly a cylinder. There's some volume missing, so that's why there is some water that's left out in the cone structure. So with this experiment, what can we talk about? How can we relate this to? What can we talk about the volume of the cone? What can we talk about that? Volume of the cone and volume of the cylinder. How can we relate them? So is it that volume of the cylinder into 3 times is the volume of the cone? Or is it volume of the cone into 3 times is the volume of the cylinder? Yes, it's the other way around. That is, volume of the cone into 3 times is the volume of the cylinder. So 1/3 the volume of the cylinder. Now does it make sense? Is your volume of the cone, provided they have the same radius and height. Right, this condition is important. So basically 1/3 the volume of the cylinder, which is pi r square into h, will give you the volume of the cone. So remember, pi r square is nothing but area of the circle. Right? I hope it made sense now. So learn it this way, things will be very simple. So let's analyze the formula. So first is your total surface area, which is pi rl plus pi r square. So here we have the constant to be pi and pi. So we are left out with r into l, which is whose power is 1 and 1, and here it is square. So basically dimensionally this is 2. We know that area is always 2 dimension, and we got the power to be 2, so we are done. Right? This makes sense. Next is the volume, which is 1/3 into pi r square h. So ignoring the constants, so the powers of the variable adds up to 3. So we know that volume is of 3 dimension, and this formula makes sense. Okay, I hope all of this made sense. Right, please see to that you learn this way and don't miss writing anything. You have to write everything and try to do the practicals so that you understand the formula better, and you just have to do it once and you learn and remember the formula for a longer time. So spend time in this manner rather than learning every few days and forgetting in the exam. At the end of it, you get nervous and get confused and you forget. So don't let that happen. Do all of these practicals. Do it with your friends. Do it with your teachers. If you want, you can hire a private tutor. Whatever you guys want. But try to learn it. Okay? Yeah. Please pause and please do write it off. Please enroll to our program at chalkpieceacademy.com, wherein we'll be teaching you a lot more tricks for faster simplification calculation, DIY projects. We'll code with Python. We'll work with Arduino Uno. There are a lot more magic tricks and the physics behind it. They are printable materials which will help you recap and understand things better. We'll have live revision and doubt session 2 months before your term exams. It's very cost effective. There would be no ads or any kind of distractions, and we have a dedicated app to help you guys with this.